Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this podcast, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Geese Have Udders, the show where we ask the unanswered and answer the unasked, looking at news and online stuff too. I'm Michael Gooch, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Matthew Thompson. You right, Matt?
Agree to disagree.
Good. Then let's start the show.
So Matt, I heard you like theme parks. Is there any new Disney rides coming out or anything?
I can't talk about that, mate.
Well, what can you talk about?
Yeah, because as we've said, you've got a background in working at theme parks, and you're an architect. What was the dream? Combining the two, I guess.
I would like to end up doing something creative, design-based in the entertainment industry. Not necessarily just theme parks, but like festivals or like, you know, you go to London these days, and Flight Club's perfect example of like a themed space. Doesn't have to be a theme
What
park.
is Flight Club for the people who don't know what it is?
I was about to ask.
Flight Club
I know what it is.
I thought he said Fight Club.
Oh no, you can't talk about Fight Club.
You do get them mixed up very quickly.
No, Flight Club
Don't
is
wanna go to the wrong one.
It's a bar, and it's essentially just like a darts bar.
It's
But
a bowling alley for darts.
It's
That's
been
what I
themed to
explained
like turn of the century, like early 20th century kind of vibe. Lots of lights, very traditional decorations, and it's got like I don't know how to like digitally enhanced dartboards that you can play like games on. It costs quite a lot to get. It's like £20 to go in though, isn't it?
Well, if it's London, then it's just it's always
like
gonna be
it's just a bar with some mental dartboards, but it's really cool. But no, I'd like to do anything to do, festival stages, theme park areas, fancy upper class bars, anything like that. That's my cup of tea. Don't like just kitchen extensions or anything like that.
You want something that's more like I think you prefer like unique projects as opposed
I'd rather
your
design
bog standard.
exactly.
Can you design a living room type of thing?
This is it. I'd rather design like an experience than something that's just going to be really utilitarian.
You don't want to do the actual roller coaster. You want to do the things around the roller coaster.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like the themes to the roller coasters. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and when we've been to Thorpe Park in the past, this was like several years ago with our camping lot. I remember when we went on. I think it was. Is it called no, it's not called Rocky Road or something. It's like, is it Rocky Road?
Rocky Express.
That's the one, yeah. So like a little train. If you've been to Thorpe Park, you know the one. It's a little train that goes around literally in a circle. And I'm pretty sure you went over to the guy because you knew him, and you were like, crank it up or whatever, or make it go faster.
I thought that was Flying Fish.
No, it was both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember both.
Yeah.
I remember almost falling off.
You see,
it.
they're all in cahoots. These theme park people, they're all in cahoots.
Yeah, it's a little bit incestuous. You want to steer clear if you can.
Because the Rocky Express, it was cranked up to 11, just going in a circle.
Yeah,
and then Flying Fish. When we were on that, because Flying Fish is just like one of the best roller coasters I think in the world.
It's one of the best.
And when we're on that, like it's just going hand signals like go again, keep it going.
Yeah, ain't that right, Matt? Flying Fish is the best roller coaster.
Yeah, it's like top 10.
So what are well? Let's not go necessarily through your top 10, but what are your favourite roller coasters and why? Because
top 5.
Because I know that you have interests in different types of roller coasters, and we'll get onto some other bits about them in a second, but let's start with that first. So what are your let's say top three roller coasters?
I mean, that's like asking someone to name their top 3 films. It's actually really difficult to pinpoint them because there's so many.
What are some iconic roller coasters that you think maybe deserve more?
The best wooden one. You talked about that a bit.
Is that the one in Wales?
Ask him. He's the roller coaster one.
Oh, that's true. Let me go to it. Well, no, only because when we went to Wales, and I don't think Matt was there for that. They had a wooden roller coaster there.
Maybe. Go on, Matt. Where's the first wooden roller coaster in the UK?
First wooden roller coaster in the UK. That would be in Dreamland Margate. They've got the scenic railway that was burnt down quite recently, but it was rebuilt around, I want to say, just after around the Olympic Games.
Out of wood.
Yeah. The government bought the park and they invested loads of money in what is essentially before the levelling up scheme. They levelled up Margate and they invested a lot of money into the theme park there. So
Nice.
that ride is technically over 100 years old, I think. But then if you ignore that, then some of the rides at Blackpool are also 70, 80 years old, which is nuts.
That is crazy.
Well, especially for wooden ones, I guess as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is that what a lot of people don't appreciate is that a lot of wooden structure, it's almost like having an old car, right? Because eventually, if you have an old car for 80 years, it's inevitable that at some point, more of that car is going to be newer than 80 years old, right?
Yeah, it's like
Well,
the classic
yeah,
broom.
that was it's the broom or the ship of Theseus or
Yeah, I
something
think we
like
discussed
that.
this.
We did discuss that with Will because he loves that type
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
I'm sure. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing with roller coasters, especially wooden roller coasters. Anywhere between once the roller coaster is 10 years old, anywhere between 8 and 13% of the wood would be replaced each year, just in general upkeep.
Well,
So
This I guess then is where I just saying like the theme becomes important to it, because even if all the original stuff is taken out, as long as the theme of it is still there, then it still is, I guess, the same roller coaster.
well, it depends. You know, some rides don't have themes. They're just there. Like
just-
the Big Dipper at Blackpool. It's just a ride.
True.
But no, yeah. So I think my top 3 coasters would be, if we talk America, there's a ride called Wicked Cyclone, which is it's like a hybrid. So it used to be just a wooden roller coaster, and then about 6-7 years ago, they got a company in to put steel track on top of it, and rather than it just being a wooden coaster that goes up and down and does a couple of turns or whatever, this thing goes like upside down. It's like got ejector hills where you get a lot of negative G's.
The fun ones.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that one's just like insane. Then there's in the UK, quite a controversial opinion, but I really like 13. I think
Which one's 13? Is that the one at Thorpe Park? Or is
no,
that-
it's
Alton Towers.
Alton
That's
Towers.
the one.
Yeah, it's like based around the crypt. It's got a very loosey goosey storyline, but I think it's the first ride that I did where the story is incorporated into the actual experience, and it's not just, oh, this is the story, now get on a roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's like,
roller coasters have stories, don't they?
well, some of them do, and 13
Yeah.
was the first one that I did where it was properly incorporated into the ride experience.
I'd love to know the flying fish's backstory. I think there needs to be like an origin to that.
It was a god that got trapped in roller coaster form.
Forced to do a loops and round and round, and then I guess one other one.
Yeah, one other one. It's difficult, but I'd probably say something at Phantasialand. Phantasialand is a park in Germany, and it's like Universal level theming, Disney level theming, but it's all independent. I think it's still owned by a family. The architect who designed the park is my favourite architect in the world, and it's like everything you see from the floor to the sky is completely immersive. It's literally like walking around a utopian world.
There is no wasted space.
Exactly,
anywhere.
literally
Everything
no.
has a purpose.
Yeah, everything. It's insane. It's really insane.
And so, which one did you? Well, you've been to loads of them. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
People who are listening now who have never even heard of you, they know that for a fact. But you've worked at a few. There was some place you did, like as we said when we introduced you, that you couldn't make it because was it Germany or Austria you were in?
I worked a season in Germany, or at least part of a season in Germany, in a theme park called Europa Park, which is the most visited theme park in Europe. I think it competes very closely with Disneyland Paris. It's also won the best theme park in the world a couple of times. It's a very prestigious park, and yeah, I worked there for a few months. Whilst I was there, we won a couple of awards in the rides team that I was actually in.
Nice.
So
Did you get the awards then?
yeah, we
Ah,
got
good.
a
Yeah, well done.
TEA Ride of the Year, and they look at
A T award.
yeah, T award. Yeah, there
Did you
go.
get anything with it? T-shirts?
Badge. I got a badge.
You got a badge.
Is the pun intended for T-shirts or
No,
no?
I think
Oh,
Boo, boo. But no, yeah, it was just a good time. Like it was 4 days a week. Rent was €50 a month for me at least. Everyone had different levels of rent. The weather, it was at the very top of the European wine region. So the wine region in Europe cuts all the way down from southern Germany through to Italy.
Yeah.
And so we had amazing weather from the start of May, and it was just incredible. And rather than working a 5th day each week, because I was on this program, they took us to like go see the nearby European culture, which was amazing. And I made some really good mates. I made some incredible memories.
And so then what's the next dream from here then? So as we said, like, I mean, we know the big dream is to, design themes of roller coasters. And obviously you said you're doing sort of like architecture now. So what type of work then are you doing for your architecture now? Is that if I'm right, it's very far away, I guess, from Rollercoasters, but at the same time, I guess it's still designing things. I don't know what the technical term would be.
Well, yeah, no, it's I think with any hobby, if you want to make it a reality, you need to be chipping away at it in your free time sometimes.
As someone who's trying to get into the media industry,
Yeah, as you well know,
I am fully aware.
Yeah.
But
Shut up, Eric. John.
no, so I currently freelance for practice, and it's quite a good gig. I get paid pretty well for the amount of hours that I do, but it's sometimes quite frustrating because of the nature of the job. You know, I might not have any work for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, being freelance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, the work that I've done in the last 18 months is right across the architectural scale. It can be anything from designing someone's walk-in wardrobe or toilet, which I've done, all the way up to doing sort of zoning for councils' entire development areas, which I've also done. And you know, I've seen projects range in costs from like 20,000 to 2 billion. Like that's the kind of kind of difference of price tag that's come across my desk in the last 18 months.
That's good. Well, thanks for coming to this job interview. We'll keep in touch.
We'll let you know if the shed needs redesigning.
Yeah.
But it's like you say, it's not particularly entertainment based. It's just kind of at the moment it's getting familiar with the construction industry.
Yeah, it's not that it's not far away from what you want to do at all.
No, it's equipping myself with the tools that I'm going to need to be able to actually
skills.
excel and sort of launch straight into being in a good, like in a sort of well understood position.
Yeah, Matt, what was that noise? Was that your headphones smacking?
It rattles now.
That might be your brain, Matt.
No, but let me swap it over.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard that noise before.
It's just Matt.
Yeah, there you go.
Take the headphones off. See if your head still makes the noise. Yes, it's right.
Hang on, give me a sec. I need a quick. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
And so you're settling for Smarties.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm a professional.
So Matt, the professional.
Yeah.
I think we should ask Matt, or at least involve Matt in a DGHU type question. One of these questions no one really asks, but is interesting nevertheless.
Yeah.
So Wimbledon hasn't long finished, depending on what episode this is going on. It could be a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. Now, we know Matt also plays tennis. Do you watch Wimbledon when it's on telly?
No.
Do you watch Wimbledon when it's on telly?
I dabble.
Dabbles. So we know how it's sort of shot. You get one person at the bottom of the screen, one person at the top of the screen. It's shot like lengthways. I guess. No, it's not. It's short. Yeah, it is. You know what I'm talking about. You've watched tennis. The question is very simple. Why is tennis shot like that and not shot sort of landscape, wide angle, with one person on either side of the screen? Do we have any ideas?
Yeah, it's to stop your head from moving about the screen every time there's a shot.
Yeah.
Because if you have it on a big telly and a player is on either side of the screen, you will spend the entire game twisting your head from left to right following the ball.
That's funny.
So if they have it shot long ways down a single point perspective like they do, you can follow the entire game without having to move your head.
Well, I've actually looked up, just in case someone provided a proper answer online, and of course we've turned to the greatest source of knowledge known to man, that is Reddit. And yeah, that is one of the things they said. It's quite a common thing. You often see people, sat on the side of Wimbledon, their heads are going left, right, yada, yada, yada. Someone says, I don't know if this is true because I don't actually watch that much tennis, or at least I don't focus on the crowd. Apparently, like the VIP boxes are behind the players as opposed to along the sides. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, that's one reason, I guess. Obviously, the more important people, the VIPs, get an angle where their necks aren't going to be strained or anything like that.
Don't want that.
Someone has come up with another reason as to why we might also look at it that way. I was actually going to read out their Reddit name, although it's just coming up as deleted. So maybe their account's deleted or their name is deleted. They also say because of how cameras work and how when you're looking at it, the perspective from behind the player and in front of the player, obviously that distance is, I don't know how to explain it, but the distance is sort of squished and it's easier to see the ball from that angle. Whereas if you're looking at it lengthways, about frame rate and stuff like that, do a lot of photography and cameras.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
jazz.
no, it makes sense.
Doing it lengthways, the ball would just be a constant blur at the speed that they're whacking. They whack them at about 100 miles an hour, whatever. And so that's just a very small DGHU type of question of why is tennis shot the way it is and not shot lengthways like other sports? It's because, well, like you say, your neck will be going side to side so quickly, and you probably won't be able to see the ball.
But that is a question that people ask, and we've also answered it. Does that mean that this is the end of Do Geese Have Udders?
Matt, you know, said we were going to kill Matt earlier. Like, I think it's, he knows
see
too
what
much.
I mean.
He knows too much.
I mean, geese don't have udders, by the way. They don't.
Kill and get him.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to give that follow or subscribe button a click so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why not check out our Twitter and Discord too, where we post updates, behind the scenes stuff, and just general other news about the show. Links in the description below. Got any topics or questions you think need a proper answer or have yet to even be asked? Drop it in the comments below or send us a tweet. Until next time.